So it's gone wrong. Close, top chat, live. Oh dear, look at my hair. It's all over the place. What the hell? Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello. This is catching everybody out. Who's gonna? Let's see if who comes in first. Let's see if anybody is out there. I was just about to say, I wonder if Andrew Murphy will be the first one in, as he always is. Good evening, Andrew. All the way from up there in the Humberside. He's up there with a family. With mum, dad, baby, little baby, nephew, little baby nephew, family, all up. They're all up there. It could only be you and me, Andrew, just having a chat for the next hour. So I've got one viewer and no thumbs up. Oh, hang on, we've got four viewing, only one commenting. So if we've got 4 viewers, I've got 1 like. So let's get it an even 50, 50, no. Mum says hi too. Hi too. Hi, Mum. So if I can get 4 viewers, I want 4 likes. Come on. Click on the likes, those who are watching. 6 viewing, 2 likes. The numbers are going up. So 3 likes. Come on, we're halfway there. Keep them going, keep them going. So, hello. So we had 3. We had 6 viewers. We now got 3. Oh dear. A moment. And we will watch on Catch Up too. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I get a notification come through instantly when you go live and attempt to be the first commenter. Well, you succeed every time, Andrew. You succeed every time, my friend. So, yeah. Cynthia's here. Look out. Trouble's in the house. Good evening, Cynthia. Cynthia, thumbs up, please. Thank you. We've got 7 viewers and 3 thumbs up. I want to get even Stevens on this tonight. 1 is here, although working. Thank you, 1. 1 is here. Good evening, Mark. Is it Panto still? Who's your guest stars in your Panto? We need to find out who the stars are. We know you're the star, Mark, because you're not front of house, no stage manager or something, stage door manager. I've caught everybody out tonight because I was going to do a live. Let me tell you a little story. I was going to do a live on Christmas Eve, but at 7:30, when I was just about to come upstairs and get ready to set the live up, my doorbell went, and it was my cousin Rodney arriving. Been to visit his wife in hospital. He was very sadly quite poorly, and he wanted to come in to have a chat and have a drink with me for to coming up to Christmas. So I felt I had to chat to Rodney. So and it was the fairest thing to do. So I didn't do the live. So I decided to do it tonight. So let's have a quick look. Andrew saying, been extremely foggy up here today, but went bowling with a family today, usual family tradition, and went for a swim at the hotel pool whilst my brother watched footy this afternoon. And you won the bowling, didn't you, Andrew? Mark saying, show was cancelled today. I'm stage door, and this year we have Joe Pasquale and wow. Yeah. What was it cancelled for, Mark? That's an unusual thing for this time of the year. This is only my 3rd beer over Christmas. I had 1 glass of wine Christmas Day and 1 beer. I had another beer Christmas Eve along with my son. Oh no, sorry. We had a flood and affected. Oh no. Oh, it's disastrous. Oh yes, so I had a beer and a glass of wine on Christmas Eve, and then a glass of beer yesterday, and half a glass of wine, and this is my 3rd beer. So yeah, I remember last Christmas I didn't drink much either, and I have really over the last few months sort of curtailed what I was drinking, but I don't drink a lot anyway. So so yeah, it's not a problem for me. Not a big drinker anyway. So what's everybody else been doing? I know Mark doesn't do Christmas, so I'm assuming he's been out filming and doing things like that. Cynthia, I think, was she having some family round on Christmas Eve or yesterday, I think. Red wine every day, but just a couple of small glasses. I know you like your red wine, but they say it's very, very good for you. Very good for you. My son doesn't. My son loves red wine, but I've got some wine glasses in my cupboard, and he can get 2 full glasses out of a bottle, and he will drink not a bottle. He doesn't do a bottle every night now, but he used to. So last night he had a bottle of wine, red wine, and the night before. So yeah, so that's his thing. Good evening, Andrew. Well, this is yes, it is. Good evening, Gloria. I was saying just now, Andrew, that I was going to do a live on Christmas Eve, but at 7:30, my cousin came to the door, wanted to come in for a chat, and we sat there talking for about an hour, and I decided not to do it. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it on Boxing Evening and see how many people are out there. Andrew said, red wine talk, just my kind of thing. Thought it might be. Michael's here. I lost my bottle a long time ago. Brilliant. I like that, Mike. I like your sense of humour, I really do. Mark and I know about such things. Yes, well, if I need any advice, I know where not to come to. Oh dear. Cynthia says, I have a glass of rosé. The wine I was drinking is supposed to have been rosé wine over Christmas, and I have to say it wasn't very nice. That's why last evening I only had half a glass. I just didn't like it very much. And I've got several different bottles in my I call it my wine cabinet, but it's just really a cupboard in the kitchen. So, Cynthia, where's my festive props, Kevin? Well, my festive hat is downstairs in my back hallway. My festive jumper is put away in the wardrobe for next year. So yeah, Mark's saying Californian Barefoot Merlot is my brand. Barefoot do some very good wines, actually, Mark. I'm pretty sure I had a Barefoot Rosé a while back, which was very nice. I'm not an expert by any means on these things, but there's certain wines I do like the taste of. My father-in-law's in my brand. My father-in-law's in my brand. Explain a little bit more, Andrew. Is that because he likes the same wine as you? I'm trying to read between the lines here. Gloria, what's your tipple? Do you like a tipple of drinky poos? Brown Brothers Shiraz. I've not heard of Brown Brothers, I don't think. His father-in-law has a... Oh, really? Isn't he a lucky chap? Does he do a rosé wine, Andrew? My brand. He and we are make our own. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it of the same strength as your brandy you make? He does. He does do it. Oh, excellent, Andrew. When you come over next time, I can remember having a little video call with Mr. Norris once. I don't know, what about 18 months, 2 years ago? Was it they say that no brandy is for? Yeah, I know. Yeah. They say Rudolph led the sleigh with a red nose, and I'm not, saying Andrew had a red nose, but his whole face was quite glowing. Shall we put it down as glowing, Andrew? Shall we put that? And the conversation was quite funny. I don't know if Andrew would remember it actually. Brown Brothers, I think, is an Australian. Oh, okay. It's just a name that doesn't ring a bell, but I've stood looking at many wines on shelves in the past, and yeah, I might have said it. Andrew Murphy saying, "Did you enjoy your visit to the food warehouse with Ron Lane the other day?" Andrew, it's called. I think it's called Farm Food or Farm Shop or something. And I started getting these leaflets or brochures coming through the post, and the prices were extremely good for branded stuff. So Cynthia and I wanted to have a look at it. We thought the opportunity was, while we were taking Fiona for a drink with Ron Lane, we would go and visit it. And I spoke to the manager there, and it turns out that the farm foods have been going for 60 years, particularly up in Liverpool area. And the guy that I was talking to, the manager, was actually from Liverpool. And yeah, I was amazed. The prices are incredible. Really good competitive prices. And we will be going back. T Outdoors is coming along. Hello, good evening. T Outdoors, I don't know your name. I know you. I've met you, shall we say, on Life's a Hobby live yesterday. And I did hint that I was coming on at 8 o'clock. I told a lie, came on at 5 to 8. So T Outdoors, would you be kind enough, and if you don't want to mind putting your name out there, let us know your name, please. Otherwise, I will just keep calling you T. Okay, James, brilliant. How can I forget that? That's my son's name. Brilliant. Thank you, James, and welcome along. James, you'll find that all this is I'm not as interested as Owen, because Owen's out in the wilds of Ireland, and he goes out in the woods and he makes camps and he climbs ridiculous mountains and he does ridiculously long walks. This is just me having a chat with all my friends. You'll see all the names up there. And so if anybody wants to, T Outdoors, he's got a YouTube channel. Look him up. And if you feel inclined, please subscribe to his channel, which I think I did yesterday. I'll have to check that out, actually, James. I was going to subscribe to your channel. I don't know if I did. If I didn't, I apologise. I will do. So, James, tell us, T Outdoors, is that a name for your outdoor adventures? Do you go out camping? Can you give us a little bit of detail or information about what you do? Is this something you do for a living, or is this something you do as a hobby? I don't even know whether Owen's is a job or whether this is just a hobby, but he always seems to be out somewhere. Just a hobby. Thank you, James. I do find it very interesting, some of the things that he gets up to. I work full time and run another YouTube channel too. Okay, cool. I will, as I say, I will check after this live and see if I did subscribe to you yesterday. If not, I will do. That is for sure. I don't know whether Owen will join us tonight or any of the other guys from Owen's channel. Andrew, out in Croatia, are you in the village or are you in Zagreb at your apartment there? Or you might be at your father-in-law's in your vineyard. Chateau Neuf de Metz. Brilliant. Andrew's in Zagreb. In the warmth, yeah. Have you got a lot of snow out there, Andrew, at the moment? Tea Outdoors, planning on doing walks, simple practice stuff, and kit reviews maybe. We'll see where the channel goes. Main idea is for my parents to go on a walk with. What a brilliant thing to do. That is wonderful, James. Sadly, I haven't got either of my parents about, but my father used to work in the woods all the time, and I used to love going out there. Kitten's here. Hi, how you doing? Tea. You've got tea. Now, I know when you came on once before, Kitten, you I think you sort of astonished. I think it was on here on Owens. Lynn B. She sort of queried your name, Kitten Killer. But like Tea Outdoors, his name is James. Kitten, would you be kind enough to let us all know? Let us know your name if you're prepared to. If not, I will just call you Kitten, as I do on Owen's lives, on his things. Yeah. There is in the village, but in a city there isn't. Oh, okay. So, do you time your trips to Zagreb deliberately to avoid all the snow in the village? I don't blame you if you do, to be honest. Although in the south of England, where I am, we had a flurry of snow a few weeks ago, but we very, very, very rarely get any snow here at all, because we're the wrong side of the downs. Owen, but I don't care. I didn't think you would. I really didn't think you would. And his name is Stuart. I've got to try and make a note of all this stuff, haven't I? So I'm bound to forget. Bound to forget. I shouldn't forget James's name. So as I say, it's the same as my boy's name. So, actually, where's my pen? I'm going to make a note of this. Hang on a minute. I've got to find a pen now. Bear with. Oh, pencil. That'll do. Right. Killer Stuart. I'm going to pin this up on the wall so that I don't get anybody's name wrong. Tea Outdoors. Hang on. Mind you, my admin should be doing this. She should be making notes. Cynthia, what are you doing apart from drinking your wine? Oh dear, James. Right, that's those two down. If anybody else comes in, I'll make another note. Mark's saying, what is snow? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. James is saying, I get too much snow. You get too much snow. Where are you, James? Calling me anything I don't mind. Well, that's very kind of you. But yeah, I think I'm caught as it sticks to the name. Not at the moment, though, just all fog. It was very, very foggy up in the Midlands today because sadly I sat and watched my team get beaten by Nottingham Forest again today. So I wasn't happy about that. Oh, someone's just. I've got a friend in St. Lucia who I did some videos with, and I've been in touch with him today, and he's been quite poorly in and out of hospital. But he keeps sending me stuff through, And every time he sends something through, it blocks out the comments. So I've got to keep clicking on the little cross to get rid of it. Stuart saying, T, I know your surname, but not your Christian name. Stuart? It's James. It's James. South Yorkshire. When it snows, the town gets cut off from everybody up there. Yeah, up that part you would do. Yeah, it's in the Midlands where my family lives. I've got some family up there in Nottinghamshire, Hucknall. They've had some really, really awful rainstorms over the last 6 months. Once the streets that had never flooded before were completely underwater. I mean, up to my cousin's son-in-law's knees at some point, which is crazy. And then they had quite a bit of snow a few weeks ago as well. Honestly, I know that they make good water spout gear. Ted, do they? You said the Downs. Do you mean Epsom? No, I'm further south than that, James. Oh God, James. Yeah, I'm south of the North Downs. I'm in a place called Midhurst in West Sussex. So I'm between the South Downs and the North Downs. We're in a bit of a valley here. It's almost like a microclimate. So yeah, in a way, we're very lucky. You know, we can have sunny weather here, and half a mile down the road, it's chucking it down with rain. So we're very lucky. Okay, yeah. Yeah, funny enough, I was just about to say, Mark, that you can't be far from Epsom. Marvelous. James Stewart, good actor, great in it's. Do you know that's one of my Michael? That's one of my favourite Christmas movies. I watched it. Was it Christmas Eve? And then it was on telly yesterday. But my son was in control of the TV remotes. For the last Christmas Eve. Oh, no, it was the day before Christmas Eve. That's right. Because James was in control of the TV controls for 2 days. Until he went home this evening. As soon as he went home this evening, I got my seat back, my chair back, and the remotes back. But it always feels funny when he goes home. The house feels empty because me living all on my Jack Jones down here. Andrew's saying, well, if you go to Fareham, where I live, you are sheltered by the New Forest, Isle of Wight. Oh yeah, you will do down there. Absolutely, you will be. Mr. McNackanan. I can't get why your name looks like McCorkin, but it's McCagan. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Has anybody noticed how quiet Cynthia's gone? She answered that one thing just now when speak of the devil. You are not Irish. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to think of my DNA results I had. Was there any Irish in there? No. No, I don't think there was. There's a bit mostly to the East Midlands, but also Iberia, I think, was one place. She's swigging the rosé wine. Michael, I don't want to let too many secrets out, but the glass of wine she had is probably gone now. It's probably empty. I'm not saying, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but won't last long. And quite often, she sits it with. I've seen her at home. She'll sit at the table with a long straw, so she doesn't have to pick it. I'm not saying she's lazy, but a long straw into the glass, and she just sucks it up. Sorry, Cynthia, I'm letting all the secrets out. Oh dear. And the other thing I should say as well is anybody that's not seen Stuart before on the chat, Kitten Killer, please look at his YouTube channel, and if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing. I'm sure if you subscribe to them, they would reciprocate and subscribe to you. So how are we doing? 26 minutes in, we've got 12 people viewing and 8 thumbs up, which is it's not bad, because I just dropped this one in there. So I'm quite happy about that. I've got a funny feeling that when I see Cynthia next, I want to get a clip around here. Oh dear. I'm supposed to be going to the allotment tomorrow. She did say she was going to come down with me in the morning, but now I'm beginning to think perhaps I shouldn't pick her up to take her to the allotment. Now I've been very, very lucky. Anybody that's seen my 9 thumbs up now, I've got 10 actually, Michael. Anybody that's been watching my Tea Outdoors, hang on, that's James. Nice to meet you. Got to go and sorts of stuff. Okay, James, thanks very much and take care. Thanks for joining in. Bye-bye. Anybody that's been watching my videos will know that I've been very, very lucky for my birthday. I've been bought a present by my son, my nephew, and my daughter. And that's this. It's called the DJI Neo. And you literally launch it off your hand and you land it on your hand. And it's got 6 different settings, does different things, 360s, what I call a rocket, goes straight up. I'll tell you what, the draft that comes off of it, off of the 4 props, it would dry your hair in, but don't get it too close, because it might just get tangled up. It's had a test flight the other day. I wanted to record the drone being flown. So Cynthia very kindly came down. She was using my GoPro. She filmed it. Does it do? Not sure the battery would last that long, but you could give it a go, Michael, if you want. But I have to say, what a fantastic bit of kit this is. I can't afford to go out and buy these sorts of things anymore. You know, I'm retired. So, as I say, my son, my nephew, and my daughter chipped in and bought it for me for my birthday. Can you get Channel 4 on it? The strange thing is, when I decided to sort of mention this tonight, I just sort of had this notion that there may be some comments coming from people about it. And sure enough, there they are. And who is the only one that's doing the comments? Oh, Owen comes in. Nice bit of kit just coming in on the live now. You're very welcome, Owen. We've had, and Lynn, good evening. We've had Kitten Killer's still here. We've had Tea Outdoors here, which is brilliant. There we go. Kitten's there. Hang on, I've got to revert to my notes. Stuart there is there. It's a brilliant, Owen, it's a brilliant bit of kit. You know, I only test flew it for about 10 minutes. The battery life's not very good. I have to say that. But I'm going to get another battery for it. But fabulous bit of kit. Films in 4K. Stabilisation is not bad. What is it I have missed? Not a lot, Owen. It's just a load of waffle. To be honest, Lynn's asking the same question. It's a drone. It certainly is. Your name's been mentioned several times, Owen, because of T Outdoors and Kit and Keller. I've mentioned they've come over from yours. You missed tea, Owen. Yes, yeah, and a glass of beer, Owen. Glass of beer. Cheers, my friend. Owen, it was. I dropped a hint in your live yesterday that I was going to perhaps come on tonight. I was supposed to have done one Christmas Eve. That didn't happen. I had a visitor turn up. Oh, sorry, I'm late. Cheers. Happy Christmas. Owen, it's not a problem. It really is. Sorry to leave you all. Nighty night. Thanks, Kevin. Cheers, Andrew. I know it's later over there in Zagreb. You're probably just about to sit down for dinner with Zorro and Yasna. Thanks for dropping in, Andrew. Really appreciate it. Yes, that's shocking, Lynn. He was out in the woods yesterday with his two little doggies, Archie and, oh gosh, what's the other dog's name, Owen? I can't remember the other dog's name. You've got Arch. Oh gosh, Zara. Thank you. And you know what? I sat there and I was quite amused watching when you were trying to get Zara to come across that real boggy, muddy bit, and then you had to pick her up, because I could just imagine those little legs getting into that deep bit, and she would have been absolutely smothered in mud. But I did sit there smiling about little Zara. Kai loves boggy. Yeah, absolutely he does. We've experienced that on some of my walks, then, haven't we? But I think somewhere near you, Lynn, you've got somewhere where you can take Kai and wash her off and do all the doggy bits and pieces, which is great. Dog wash, yeah. But I know that Owen was cutting some. Unfortunately, when I had to stop joining the live, Owen was cutting some bits of wood, and he kept having to look away in front of him. So I'm assuming both the dogs were up in the woods there somewhere, and he was just keeping an eye on them. But yeah, it was the little bit I was joined in with was great. Self-service, it's great. Took in there on Christmas Eve. Oh, brilliant. Let me have a sip. Mark's got to go. He's got to lock up the theatre. Have you finished mopping up then, Mark? Did you have to get all hands on deck, so to speak, to mop up the leak, the flood? But thanks for joining, Mark. Really appreciate it. Your outtakes were good ones, mate. Thank you, Lynn. They've become a must over the last 2 or 3 years. I've got quite a selection now. Head on a swivel with the dogs all the time. Yeah, absolutely. I bet you have. But little Zara doesn't go out quite so much with you now, Owen. Does she? Hasn't she had some issues or something? Some problems over the last few months? Archie, he's full on. You can see that. Lovely dogs though. They get some fantastic exercise with you out in the mountains and on your walks. Mark saying something like that. Yeah. Take care, Mark. Mark, I'll speak to you soon, my friend. Give me a shout. Mark, if you're still there, yourself, Richard Suggett, me, and Matthew Holsworth should have a meet up for a meal somewhere and have a chat about old times. That would be cool. Kevin, you should get a dog or a cat. The conversation has been had many, many times, Ian. A dog wouldn't, I could manage a dog. I'd only want a small dog. If I did go away somewhere, I know my daughter would look after the dog, but then I would feel guilty because if I was away during, say, weekdays, she works full time, so the dog would be at her place, or I'd have to put it into kennels. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Lynn. But for me, I would find that a little bit too restrictive for the sort of places I would want to go to and things like that. So a cat, possibly. I was brought up with dogs and cats all my life. So I'm very, very, very close to going to have a look at a cat in a cat rescue place. But I have got set in my mind, if I have a cat, there's a particular cat that I'd love to have. I've had some lovely cats in my time, but there's one cat in particular that really caught my attention. Was a cat that my cousin Sue had, and the cat's name was Molly. I was the only one that could stroke Molly, and then she would roll over so I could just stroke her tummy. Nobody else could do it. And I had a very, very close attachment to that cat. And when Molly had to be put to sleep, I think, really upset me. So I'd love to have a cat. I know you'd never repeat the same, you never get the same cat twice, but Molly was just a lovely, lovely cat. And if I could get a cat, anything like her, that would be wonderful. Lynn saying it can be, yes, it can be restrictive. Yeah, Lynn, cats are good company. Yes, they are. Ian McKagan, Hazelmere, yes, that's where I was going to go. That's where I got Willow cat protection. Okay, yeah. And then you have to stand by the bath tap and run the water for Willow. Michael saying, friends of my dad had a pearl leopard. A pearl leopard? Never heard of that one. Like Owen saying, you have the gift. We rescued both dogs. It takes a year for them to trust you and bond. Oh, I don't doubt that at all. I know when I was a young lad, my mum had this dog called Lassie, and we all loved Lassie, but it was really mum's dog. But when Lassie became quite poorly, it was only my brother and I that could take Lassie to the vet. But sadly, we didn't come home with Lassie. So, and I do agree with you. My wife, my ex-wife, and I, we took two dogs in. That one guy threatened to drown one of them. But when my wife became pregnant with our second child, James, the little dog just followed my wife all over the place, and it just, literally drove her up the wall. Being heavily pregnant as well, we decided to get rid of her. But she went to friends of ours, and she lived for a very, very long time afterwards. So that was good. And then the other one was an Alsatian, which had been very badly mistreated, and we took that dog in. But our house and garden was too small for it. And we asked for some help, and the dog went to a farm and was very well looked after. We kept in touch with the people for a few months, and the dog was absolutely in its element. So, it is what it is. But yeah, Lynn's saying pet leopard, Michael. Wow, pet leopard. Hang on, did I misread that just now? Friends of my dad's had pet leopard. Oh my God, really? Wow. Yes, Lynn, until we took a swipe at someone at a local pub who used to, oh gosh, yeah. That's when it gets a bit dodgy, isn't it? I saw something on, was it YouTube or something? Smaller, Better Britain. Now I can't remember the name of this breed of dog, but I think it was somewhere like Mongolia. And the people that had, they literally, the dogs were so big. I mean, if I said this dog looked as if it was bigger than a donkey, its neck was huge, and they had two coils of large chains around their necks with ropes, and the people could not hold these dogs back. They were being dragged everywhere, and they are absolutely massive, and evidently they can get their jaws really wide open, and they're supposed to be like a dog that was used for protecting cattle and sheep. But one of these things, if it grabbed hold of a sheep, ran it, its head, the sheep's head, would be lost inside the jaws of this dog. They were so big. It was frightening, absolutely frightening. Was that a cat? Hey, was that a cervical cat? As it's a big cat. Don't get what you mean there. Sorry. There's a man who walks a massive dog in our park. It comes from Russia. It's huge. Lynn, I've never seen pictures or anything, but this is video of this people with these dogs. I've never ever seen a dog that big. That wouldn't surprise me. Use them if I see it again, I'll try and save the video and I'll share it over to you. But as I say, they had these coils of chain round their necks, and they could not hold these dogs back. And they were trying with all their force, and they couldn't hold these dogs back. And Michael says, my wolfhound was massive, but was as soft as a butler unless it grew up. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If one gets a little bit upset, you're frightened of what it would do. I love wolfhounds, and they're really gentle. We met a couple in the forest, so sweet-natured. There's good and bad in every breed, I think. I had a client who had a pit bull and a Rottweiler. I didn't know till I was working in the garden. Though I'm always worried, frightened of just the names of these dogs. That they're so frightening. What the damage they. I mean, this is this other breed of dog, an American something or other, which has come into the news over the last few weeks that are scary, absolutely scary. Yes, I saw the photos of you with them. It's just the damage. They've killed children, they've killed and ripped people apart. There's a lady on the news the other day that was terribly scarred, where one of the I don't know what breed it was. I think it was one of these American pit bully type dogs that had literally ripped a lump of her arm off from under the top part of her arm. And that's quite worrying. Ian McCagan, rude names as they were called Nelly and Knockers. Oh dear. Brilliant. Oh gosh. Most pit bulls are very sweet. It's bad owners. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Michael. You're absolutely right. Is Owen still there? Owen, have you got any more expeditions planned? Did you fly your drone? Yes, I did. It's here, Lynn. Did you see it just now? Hang on a minute. Let me try and give you a close up. There it is. Yes, I did, Lynn. I did fly it the other day. Brilliant. I'm not going to be daft enough and start going. It is very light. I don't even have to register it. With my Mavic Mini 2, I had to register it and stick the numbers on the things and everything. Are we going to see it in support? Yes, not for a little while. Lynn, what I want to do is I want to get used to the different settings. I went out just locally. Cynthia came down very kindly, used my GoPro, filmed it. So I want to get used to it first before I use it in any footage. But I think there's certain settings on this drone that will be brilliant, like the follow, the 360. I think would be good. The one called Rocket, I don't think I would use Rocket on a video. There's no point really. You literally just shoot straight up. The strange thing is what it does, it'll video going up. Once it gets to the top of its flight, it stops recording and then starts to record a separate video on the way down. So I'm hoping to use that again at the weekend, just to get a bit more used to it. And then once I've got used to it, then yes, I will be using it. I think some of the walks we do out in the woods and the fields and things like that, I think it'll be great for that sort of thing. I'm not sure. You could get some great footage if you were, for argument's sake, perhaps in a cemetery. But I'm not sure whether I really want to use them in a cemetery or anywhere in a church surroundings. I don't think that's quite right. But I could get some lovely footage where it does a 360 around me while I'm filming. But I don't know. I think that'd be a bit disrespectful. When I go into churches and churchyards, as I always say in my videos, we're always being very respectful. We don't walk on any graves unless we don't realise there's one there. So, so I don't know. Certain areas it will be great. What's Ian saying? If you're popping in for a coffee, we can go to the field and test it out. That'd be great, Ian. That'd be great. I'll let you know. I'll certainly let you know. Lynn saying, I love the footage where Mark's friend took over the long. Yes, that was brilliant, wasn't it? That was really, really good. The trouble, I've got my Mavic Mini 2. I've hardly used it this year at all. But each time I've taken it out, I've got to take it out to film, and it says it's either got an update or it's got a bug. And then I can't fly it, so I have to bring it home, connect it up to the computer so it can do its thing to update it or whatever. So every time I've done that, because one I wanted to do, Lynn, Cynthia and I went to Stedham and Iping Common just before the heather finished flowering. And I wanted to fly my normal drone over top of the heather. That would have made a fantastic shot out there, but the system had a bug in it. So I had to, I couldn't fly it again because it wouldn't let me take off. So it we'll get around to doing it at some point. So yeah. So it's an issue at times, but looking forward to using it again. But certainly if Ian's prepared for me to go up to the field, that'd be great, so I can have a practice up there without the damage, without any fear of damaging it. Oh, perhaps I shouldn't have said that actually. Oh dear. But I think Cynthia, Steve and I are meeting up next Monday. Not sure if we're walking or just having what we call an admin day to discuss things coming up. Cynthia will be putting up a notice on the Kevin's Rambles group very soon about the walk at the end of January, which will be in Bognor, just to blow the cobwebs away, and literally, probably. So we're just doing a very easy, flat walk along the from I can't remember the name of it. Cynthia would tell me, but she will put a notice up. So if anybody wants to come along on that, they'll be very welcome. And then hopefully we can get something planned for February. We've got an idea what's happening on March, but we need to have a chat about that. Further details will be given in the not too distant future. And then we've got obviously July walks already being planned. That's going to be in East Sussex somewhere. I don't know where. So plans are all already taking place. Mark English, I know, is going to be putting his thinking cap on for doing a walk. I think it would be quite. I know it'd be a long journey for Lynn and Rich and Kai and Tracy and Andrew, but I feel we should try and do something up in Mark's area because he travels so often to the walks further afield from his place. So I think we should definitely be looking at doing something up the sort of towards the North Downs. No distance is really too far. Okay, Lynn, that's great to know. Plans for the Cotswold. I have spoken to Paul. There is some possibility. Nothing's confirmed yet, Lynn. That may be in May, but I'm not 100% sure yet. He's got a walk ready to do, but again, once we've got everything confirmed, then we'll let everybody know via the Kevin's Rambles Facebook group. So yeah, everything's very much looking forward to these walks coming up, Lynn. Obviously, we've got the New Forest. So the date may be tricky for us. Yeah, well, we've talked about May was the bank holidays were suggested, Lynn, but our thoughts are that bank holidays are more expensive. We could get an extra day in, yes or no, but they're always more expensive. So I think our idea would be to, if we went in May, we'd go between the bank holidays. But yeah, and of course, bank holidays are going to be so much busier. So, and the Cotswolds is always busy. But I don't think the plan is for Paul to take us into any towns or villages. I think his idea is to do a canal walk, which would be lovely. Michael, did you see her comment earlier on when I was saying about the long straw into the glass and she went, "Oi, I'm not saying another word." I would say bottle. But don't tell her I said so. Don't tell her I said so. In fact, while we're chatting away here, Cynthia might actually have a phone going with this, the chat going on her phone, and she could be on her laptop typing up a better walk at the end of January. Who knows? Ian saying we need to get you to Dorset. Absolutely, we would love to go there. So that's another option we can have a look into. There answers a question, Michael. There was only one glass left. Cynthia, as you can see, another suggestion for a walk, Dorset. We need to start looking at Dorset. Perhaps again, that's something that Dave Falker could help us with. But I know, following a conversation I had with Dave a week ago, he's very, very busy with obedience classes and that with his dogs. I think he's pretty well busy the whole of July. Oh gosh, I can't remember. June and July, I think he's really busy. So yeah. Cynthia's saying, no, she's trying to catch up on her thumbnails. Oh well, yeah, you had a few to do. But those videos are going down very fast, Cynthia. We need to get back out and get some videos made. Lynn saying, we love doing long weekends away, so distance is not important, as we would make a weekend of it and would love to join you. Absolutely. I think if we went somewhere like the Cotswolds, Lynn, it would have to be a weekend, 2 nights, 2 days. I know Cynthia has had some discussions with Cynthia. Are you painting them? So I'm pretty pretty sure I'm right in saying Cynthia's had some conversations with Jean about the Cotswolds. I've had a brief chat with Steve. I know there's one weekend that Laura wouldn't be able to make it because she's doing I think she's producing a show for the local players group. So yeah, there's lots of plans that would have to be made for these. Lincoln would be lots of fun if we made a weekend of it, meals, etc. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Then you have to excuse me. Something's really annoying me, and it's stuck in one of my teeth. I can't get it out. Yeah, I think if we went up there for minimum 2 nights, of course. Watto said, we could travel up, we could meet up, and we could all go out for a meal in the evening. Then we do the canal walk, and then if anybody wanted to do a shorter walk on the, for argument's sake, Sunday morning, we could do a short walk Sunday morning, and then we all say our goodbyes, and then we head off home. But anybody obviously that may want to stay up there a little bit longer, of course they can do that. So yeah, we've got lots of things to think about, Lynn. And of course, during this next year, I want to plan in these park walks as well. So it would be Friday the Sunday. I think so, Lynn. I think it would probably be most sensible for us, people like us that don't work anymore. That's probably not going to be too much of an issue. But some people do work, and it might be an issue for them to come along. But we'll have to see. As I say, lots of planning to do. And as I say, I've got these 2 park walks I want to get in during the year. Lynn, what I'm planning to do is yours later in the year, but Angela's earlier in the year, and hers would be over at Crawley, I think it is. And she describes it as the jewel in the crown of Crawley, the part that she's got suggested for. So yeah, we've got lots and lots of things coming up. And if anything else crops up in between times, then even better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the one near us would be good any time of the year, as there are paths. Oh, brilliant! That sounds great, Lynn. It's all right for you pensioners. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, Ian, you could plan something in to have a day off work on a Friday, and you could trundle up to the Cotswolds. You might be able to be used as a taxi service as well. Lynn says a lovely cafe for. Oh, brilliant! That sounds good. That sounds great. Yeah. How are we doing time wise? Oh gosh, 58 minutes. Well, look, I'm actually gonna wrap this up. Coming up to an hour. Don't forget, keep your eyes open because I might throw another one of those in. That's in grass cutting time. Will it grow much from missing it for one day? Nah. I might be throwing another one of these in at any time, but of course I will be back onto my normal schedule. First Sunday of the month, which, hang on, is that a week Sunday? Yeah, it's a week Sunday, isn't it? So I may not do another one until the first Sunday of next month. So, okay, everybody, look, thanks very much for joining in tonight. Really appreciate your time. I know we're still in Christmas, but I just thought I'd jump in and do one tonight. So I hope you've all had a lovely, lovely Christmas and you've had a lovely time resting up. And we look forward to seeing everybody in 2025. Owen's saying good night. So I'm going to say good night. Good night, everybody, and thanks very much. And I will raise my glass to you and wish you all a very happy New Year. Thanks very much. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye.